Okay, so the quiz number 9 on area of a region bounded by two curves. So there was the first thing we needed to find was where did these curves intersect, so at the intersection points. And that we get this by equating the two equations and then solving. Let's bring everything to the left hand side. X to the fifth minus x to the fourth plus 2x to the fourth, so there's a x to the fourth in total, right? So if you want me to do this, so minus x to the fourth minus x to the fourth, and then we do minus 6x cubed minus 6x cubed, and then minus 10 minus 10. So we get the minus 6x cubed, and the 10s cancel out, equals 0. Now we factor out an x squared, and we have an x, an x cubed. We have to factor out x cubed. We have an x squared plus x minus 6, and this is a quadratic that we can factor. The two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add up to 1, and that would be 3 and negative 2. Okay, very important here is that you have always factor out this this power of x as well. Otherwise, you're forgetting an intersection point. Okay, so we put this equal to 0, we get x equals 0. So again, don't forget that this point, x minus 3 and x equals 2. Okay, so we have 3 intersection points. We now put them in a table. In the right order, so negative 3, 0 and 2, and then our two equations, x to the fifth plus 2x to the fourth plus 10, and x to the fourth plus 6x cubed plus 10, and we wonder which one is top, which is bottom, and we have two intervals that we look at, so we need a test point in the first interval and a test point in the second interval, so these are test points. Remember, this means arbitrary chosen numbers. That doesn't have to be 1 or minus 1, as long as it's in those intervals, you're good. And then we check which of these two curves have the highest value there. So in minus 1, negative power, that's a minus 1 plus 2 plus 10, which is 11. And the other one is 1 minus 6 plus 10, that is 5. So we see that this is a top curve. Okay, but something else happens at the other side if you now look at it. We don't know yet, but here it is. 1 plus 2 plus 3, 10, that is 13. And if I plug in 1 there, I get 1 plus 6 plus 10 is 17. Oh no, right, this is now the top, right, it changes. But we cannot predict that, right? We really have to look at the values. Okay, and then the last thing is just writing down the actual integral that determines the area. And that is, we have to split the integral in two parts from minus 3 to 0, and there we put the first one on top, that's the top one, and we subtract the other one from it. Let's put parentheses that we don't forget anything. Plus, and now we do the same thing on the second interval from 0 to 2, but there it's the other way around. And from now on, it's a little bit of a lot of writing, and it's no longer not hard anymore. I mean, so that is from negative 3 to 0, x to the fifth plus x to the fourth. Right, these two cancel with this. Then minus 6x cubed, and the 10s cancel. Okay, of course, we have recognized this equation, right? I told you this is always going to happen, and then here we get kind of we have an x to the fourth minus 2x to the fourth, so altogether minus x to the fourth. We have a 6x cubed, the 10s cancel, and then we have a minus x to the fifth dx, which is just the negative of the previous guy. Okay, so we integrate, this is x to the sixth over 6 plus x to the fifth over 5 minus 6x to the fourth over 4 between negative 3 and 0 plus minus x to the fifth over 5 plus 6x to the fourth over 4 minus x to the sixth over 6 between 0 and 2. And now we plug in 0, that whole thing is 0 minus, just be careful, the 0 goes first, right? And then negative 3, we get negative 3 to the power 6, that is also that's positive, so it's 3 to the power 6 over 6, minus 3 to the power 5 over 6, the minus comes because we do minus 3 to the power 5, right, and then minus 6 times 3 to the 4th over 4, that's the first one, and then the second one is we plug in 2, we get minus 2 to the 5th is 32, right, over 5, plus 6 times 16, that is 96, yeah, over 4, and then minus 64 over, oh, this is a very sicklish 6, okay, minus 0, okay, and I'm not going to work out the number. If you want to, you can, but that's not the issue here. Okay, that was not too hard, I hope.